Hi everyone, I'm Meredith, and what if I told you that the answer to our plastic pollution crisis might be right in front of us, already floating around in the ocean? I'm sure most of you have pictured high-tech cleaning machines or man-made plastic degrading chemicals as a possible solution, but the answer might be a lot simpler: microbes. The marine microbiome has increasing potential to solve the problem of plastic pollution and damage to marine ecosystems. Research on bacteria in the ocean has been increasing over the years due to microbial species being discovered that have plastic degrading abilities. And I'm not only talking about biodegradable plastics, but ones that could take hundreds of years to degrade normally. The unique capabilities of microbes can reduce chemical damage by plastic, harm to wildlife, and habitat damage. You may be thinking, how do microbes live and grow on the surface of plastic in the ocean? Since plastic doesn't contain nutrients, how do microbes get energy to support their growth processes? Some microbes can actually use the carbon in plastic as a food and energy source, and this microbial ecosystem is called the plastosphere. Jacqueline and colleagues cover this ecosystem in their 2019 review. They explain how plastic in the ocean can be considered a habitat for microbes. Plastic becomes colonized by marine microbes, which form communities that don't just stick to the plastic, they adapt, evolve, and degrade it. They have adapted to use metabolic processes or enzymes, such as oxygenases, for plastic degradation in addition to their original use. We have also seen microbes adapt and code for new enzymes. Kimura and other researchers found marine Vibrio species that have new plastic degrading enzyme genes, and they named the enzyme PBSase for its polybutylene succinate degrading ability. And this picture shows what the enzyme looks like. They discovered that it came from a mutated Vibrio ruber bacteria that was then able to pass the gene for the enzyme to other species. And this really demonstrates how bacteria's ability to transfer genetic material can be utilized for the good of our planet. Mutually beneficial relationships between hosts and microorganisms are also important to the plastic pollution problem. Zhao and colleagues discovered in their 2024 study that microbes inside the gut of the host shown here, which is a marine polychaete worm, which lives in the deep sea sand, are able to degrade polystyrene. The worms then use the byproducts from the degrading as nutrients. Acinetobacter johnsonii, Brevibacterium casei, and Rugeria arenulitoris were all found in the marine worm's gut microbiome. This study is important in showing how nature is utilizing symbiosis between hosts and bacteria to evolve new ways to digest plastic, one worm at a time. Now, how do remote and largely unexplored places on Earth fit into this topic? Places like the deep sea floor. Omura and other researchers investigated what happens when biodegradable plastics sink miles beneath the surface. The result was that microbes down there are capable of decomposing plastic, even in cold, high pressure, low nutrient environments. They found plastic degrading bacteria up to 5,500 meters below sea level. They collected the samples instead of cultivating them in a lab, which was a way for them to prove that these bacterial species definitely exist in the deep sea. Now, you may be thinking, some of these microbes, like the ones found on the seafloor, have to be hard to attain and culture. So, how can scientists combat this problem and find more microbes, especially the ones that we can't grow in labs? And this is where the sea chip comes in, which is an important culturing tool developed by Lodi and other researchers. And this tiny chip lets scientists isolate and grow unculturable aquatic microbes. It was actually able to culture 5 times more bacteria from lake water than traditional culturing methods. And scientists are working on how to apply this sea chip to marine microorganisms in order to find and harness microbes that have been pretty out of reach until now. So here's the big idea. Microbes aren't just organisms that live passively on our plastic. They're actually able to utilize it in many different ways. The marine microbiome and the plastosphere is a dynamic, evolving system. It can pose risks like spreading pathogens, but it also holds solutions. Imagine the impact that marine microbes could have if we supported these microbial systems, decoded their enzymes, harnessed their pathways, and utilized nature's adaptability for good. Plastic pollution is not going to go away on its own, but we all have help from an important ally, the marine microbiome, in mitigating the problem. Thank you.